Welcome back to Bargaining in War. This lecture is on the corner solution to the Ultimatum game. Let's begin by recapping what we learned about what happens in the Ultimatum game normally. To do that, I'm drawing a 0 to 1 interval, which represents everything in dispute between two parties, states A and B. And what we've seen before is that if A has all the proposal power, it can choose what division to try to implement vis-a-vis B, and all B can do is accept or reject. Then A makes the demand P plus CB, and B accepts. That demand leaves just enough to equate to B's war payoff of 1 minus P minus CB. That's the quantity that B is receiving in this equilibrium demand. This is what we've seen so far. We call this solution an interior solution. Implicitly, as we were doing this, we assumed that B had a positive war payoff. In other words, 1 minus P minus CB was greater than 0. That meant that the equilibrium demand being made of P plus CB is falling strictly inside that 0 to 1 interval. It is on the interior. That also means that slight changes to either P or CB keep that division inside of the interior as well. If you make P slightly smaller, then we're still going to have P plus CB inside of the 0-1 interval. Same thing if we make P slightly bigger. And likewise for CB, if you make CB slightly smaller, still within that interval, and if you make CB slightly bigger, still within that interval. Hence, it is an interior solution. And thus, the division that is being proposed is going to change as a function of those inputs. If you make P slightly larger, for example, then A is going to demand slightly more. Likewise, if you make P slightly smaller, A is going to demand less. And the same logic applies for changes to CB. Again, we call this the interior solution. The game differs if we instead look at a situation where B has a negative war payoff. So rather than have 1 minus P minus CB be positive, let's imagine that it's negative. That's going to radically alter what this picture looks like. Instead of P plus CB being here, that's going to move P plus CB. You'll notice if we rewrite this inequality like this, it makes P plus CB greater than 1. It's somewhere out here. Think about what that entails for A's demand. To induce B to accept, A has to set 1 minus X greater than or equal to 1 minus P minus CB. Well, if you solve for X, A has to set X less than or equal to P plus CB. But you'll recall that X is 0 to 1 constrained. Why is that? Well, that 0 to 1 interval represents everything that the parties have in dispute with one another. So A can't demand more because, by definition, there's nothing more to demand than that quantity 1. So everything in this interval is something that B accepts. So the equilibrium demand that's going to be made by A of B is 1. A sets X equal to 1, and B accepts. We call this sort of solution a corner solution. Why? Well, just by the picture, the demand that's being made is falling on the very corner of that graph, on X equal to 1. Corner solutions differ from interior solutions for a variety of reasons. Most importantly, you'll notice that if you make slight changes to P or CB, that does not actually change the equilibrium demand being made. If you make P slightly larger, that doesn't change that A is still going to demand X equal to 1. If you make P slightly smaller, still does not change the fact that A is going to demand X equal to 1. And same thing for slight changes to CB. If you make larger changes, if you make P very much smaller, or make CB very much smaller, then you would start transitioning from a corner solution back into the interior. And you'd be in the situation before where A actually has to make some sort of positive concession to B to get B to accept the deal. In general, when we're solving games, we're almost always going to be focusing on the interior solution. This is for a couple of reasons. One is for the sake of simplicity. This will save us a lot of headaches. If we have to consider a situation where that demand is going to be accepted no matter what it is, we would have to repeatedly say that for every equilibrium division, A is going to demand either x equal to p plus cb or 1, whichever is the smaller of the two. And doing that over and over and over and over again when we're solving model after model after model will become very frustrating. It would be time consuming, and it's something that we can save ourselves from. The other reason is that, by and large, having solved the corner solution is not going to give us any new theoretical insight that the interior solution didn't already tell us. There will be some exceptions to that, and when those exceptions do arise, we'll talk about that, and we'll explain what's going on with the mechanism that's causing the corner solution to behave in one way and the interior solution to behave the other way. But for the most part, again, we're always going to be focusing on the interior solution otherwise. And so whenever you're working on a problem in this course or within the textbook, just assume straight away that both parties have positive war payoffs. Everyone is getting some value if they fight a war. It's never going to be 0 unless we explicitly tell you otherwise. Hope you enjoyed this and hope to see you next time. Take care.